But tonight we're going to lead with an exciting fake news story. A very pertinent and relevant Trump supporter, part of the Trump team, has accused Channel 6, KOTV here in Tulsa, of fake news. And sources close to me tell me that I am a Trump supporter and that I'm relevant. So it's me that has accused Channel 6 of fake news. So Kristen Weaver, she's a very nice and young gal on Channel News 6. She has a News on 6 story. Tulsa City Council is planning to build a new grocery store, which is what piqued my interest right off the bat. If you read further, she says actually Echo Alliance Group LLC is building a new store. And without going too far into worrying about whether she made a mistake or not, this is the problem with fake news. When you allow your local media to print sentences that are inaccurate in context and meaning, it may not sound like a big deal, but this helps justify President Trump's attitude about fake news. It's not true that the city council is planning on building a new grocery. Now, when I contacted her about it, 4 days went by. She really wasn't interested in answering any of my questions, follow-up questions. There was plenty of discussion on the Channel 6 news site. Tom R. said, "Why is the city council building a grocery store?" Michael O. said, "The city council is building a grocery store, question mark. Their expertise in building a grocery store is what?" Shirley M. said, this says the city council is building the store, so who's paying? I haven't heard of any chain stores. Well, it's interesting. It is a store. It's not a store. It's a company that does waste management out of Utah.
Buy your groceries!
Oh man, it's Echo Alliance. They're into scrapping and doing, which is fine.
Dumpster diving.
It makes you wonder where they're getting their deals.
Let me just make the point is that the spin of the story was so desperate to make government responsible for your good that the city council was going to build it. They could have spun the story, Kristen Weaver, could have spun the story with an accurate spin. Look at Tulsa, engaged in a startup, entrepreneurial. These people want to get into the grocery business. They're not in the grocery business.
Right.
So the real issue for me was that Kristen Weaver's attitude about her job as a journalist is that she told me, "Well, check with the city councilor about your questions." Like, I don't work for Channel 6.
Yeah.
You have purported a fake news story. And to her, it just really didn't seem like much of a
Well, did
much
she
of a deal.
source her actual, reference of who she got this?
She
from?
said that I was using the information given to me from multiple sources. The Tulsa City Councilwoman has all the answers.
Multiple sources. Let me tell you, somebody who's written stories for a long time, I know that's a convenient out for.
You're right.
Here's my opinion.
She did quote the one city councilor from that area.
Yeah.
And so obviously she must be one of the sources, and she is in on it.
No.
And so maybe she was trying to give her friend a plug.
Tom, here's the thing, because we've been hearing for years, North Tulsa is a food desert. And there have been attempts for grocers to go up there. I mean, my goodness, there's no competition. Go up there. And why? Because shrinkage. Here's the thing I've learned in retail. I spent a lot of time in retail. When you got a case of 12, it isn't until you sell that 12th one that you've actually made a profit. The other 11, if somebody steals something from you, you got to sell an extra 11 to make up for what you lost on every 12th one that got stolen.
You're reacting like a normal capitalist. This is one of the problems with Kristen. She said in a comment to me privately, "I know this community can't wait to have a healthy and exciting grocery store that they more than deserve." Now, here is entitlement city. They deserve for what? The other thing that they also overlook here is that it's really damning the entire North community. Up on Reservoir Hill, they certainly don't have problems driving to Reese's. And And so the idea that they would suggest that the entire zip code area, she certainly doesn't understand that I own a home in North Tulsa that I'm refurbing, and
Sure.
and I don't, I mean, I don't care if there's a grocery store. I think that capitalists will put grocery stores in places that they work. There were a lot of negative comments
That's true.
about robbery. I don't condemn
Yeah.
the whole area like that, but she essentially takes no responsibility for her story. She says that the news or the website guys did it, or the website department
Put up the title.
Yeah, and
Right.
Channel 6 has had some great journalists, and several of them I've gotten to know really well and worked with and collaborated with in that. It is one of those things that it's going to happen from time to time. It's sad that it took this long for them to respond to you.
Yeah, I don't know
And
that it's been corrected even on the site.
Here's my problem. I raised a family in South Tulsa, not deep South Tulsa, but I knew there were a couple of swimming pools close by when I bought my house.
Right.
Since then, the city has closed those 2 swimming pools, and we put up with it. And North Tulsa keeps their swimming pools. You can still go to Lacey Park and swim. You can't go to Mannion Park, to Henthorne Park, or other places close to me and swim. When are we going to get our swimming pool? Do we need to resort to these antics? Because I'm concerned, and you should be too, folks out there, that is government sweetening the pot? Is there some kind of a TIF program that's going to be giving a giveaway? And now, keep in mind, we did the same thing to Costco, and that was Dewey Bartlett's administration. They got a cut. They got to keep part of their sales tax if they would build. And where did they build? Deep South Tulsa. So it happens. It happens all over the town.
Channel 6 has made a case in heavy marketing and advertising that they are special of all the other affiliates, that they're local.
Hey, Griffin's
we,
jam, man.
Our kids go to school here, and we drive on the roads here, and when you struggle on the toilet here, we struggle with you. Okay, so Channel 6, if you're going to represent me, at least have your media people and your anchorettes read stories that are accurate, write stories that are accurate.
That's right.
Let's not be a useful idiot like Khrushchev said.
Let's not move back to the days of Clayton Vaughn and the terrible things that he drugged the reputation of Channel 6. That wasn't Griffin at the time. That was with Velo Corporation, but it was still Channel 6 as we know it in this community. And Channel 6 is important to us.
Look, these people we as a public have to uphold our media outlets to broadcast things that are legitimate and true in our public space.
Yeah.
This is public broadcasting. We do, in a socialist way, own the airwaves.
That's right.
You don't just to promote your broadcasting bull without...
and Griffin...
Well, they do get to promote the way they want to promote.
Yeah.
But let's call it for what it is.
Thank you.
And we are right now being an antidote to that.
Absolutely.
To that propagandist.
They're actually held to a higher standard than we are, because they're broadcast and we're cablecast, podcast. We're not
webcast.
We're not over.
They're not held to any sort of a standard.
Yeah, legally they are.
No, they shouldn't be, because the press, as it's referred to in the Constitution, refers to a machine, not to an occupation.
All right, well, we'll deal with this. We've already doubled our time on this one. But bottom line is, with Kristen Weaver, she's misidentified contextual syntax and word meaning, which is the problem that OAC has on